Alright, should you buy trees from Tractor Supply? I'm going to say at your own risk, because I bought about 10 of them and planted them. I think it's been 4 years now, and of the 10, I believe I still have 2 that are surviving. And the best tree is right here over my shoulder. We'll take a look at it. I brought some pruners, gonna try and trim away some of the competition, but we'll see how it's doing. So in this jungle of greenery here, I have a wire cage, and there is a apple tree here that's growing. It looks like the gypsy moths have stripped a lot of the branches this year. It's not looking that great, but it's still leafed out the top of the tree. There is no fruit on it. Again, you know, it was hit hard by the gypsy moths this year, at least I believe, unless there was some other culprit that stripped it of its leaves. But there's just a lot of greenery around it. There's some spice bush, some briars, which they don't really hurt anything. I don't see any vines, so that's good. But in this little area here, well, you can see a tube there. There's some cages in here, and where was more tubes, but I definitely would recommend using wire cages. There was a tree planted in here, whether it was apple or pear, something from Tractor Supply, I don't remember. But over there you can see a white stake. It's just growing up thick in here. There's a white stake. There used to be tree tubes here, and I don't recommend them because the coyotes and the bears rip them down, play with them and whatnot. But I don't remember how many trees I planted in this area. It's all grown up with other trees and bushes and weeds and such, but I think there was about 10 of them in here, and they're pretty much all died but the one. So we got another stake there. Over here's a wire cage, no tree in it. So maybe I'll trim some of this back next spring, plant some more trees in here. There's still a lot of sunlight coming in here, a lot of shade. I got a big elm there that is dead. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. There's a birch beside it that is dying as well, which no loss there. And we'll go over here. This one lone tree that is still surviving. At least I'm hoping that it continues to live. We will trim some of the competition around it. I have another location where I planted a couple trees from Tractor Supply. We're going to go check that out here in a few minutes, but I'm going to get to work here and trim some of the stuff away from this tree. See if we can get it growing a little bit faster. One thing I do not do is cut anything that will be a future valuable tree as far as timber goes. I have these simple pruners, and these junk trees I'm just going to trim away a bunch of the vegetation. I might let this tree grow. Just trim a bunch of the branches away. The less competition this apple tree has, the better it's going to grow, and the better the fruit will be that it has. And there you have it. I got some of the competing trees cut. Not everything. One advantage to not cutting all your trees around the ones that you've planted is gives something else for bucks to come and rub their antlers on, and they're not in here going after the tree that you had planted. I got one here weaving around this wire. Clip it a couple more times, but looking good. It's not the tree is not doing well this year, but next year's another year, and we'll see how it grows till then. I got everything cut. There's something wrapping its way around it. Yeah, I'm hopeful that at least one of my Tractor Supply trees will thrive and get to get some benefit out of it in a few years. So this tree here is my only other one when I bought them from Tractor Supply about 3-4 years ago that is still surviving, and I'm not sure what all went wrong with it. I think for one thing, my wire cage isn't near big enough, and the deer have been brutal with it. So the main part of the tree broke off, and now it's dead. And so, you know, it's gonna try to branch out and keep growing. You can see here, it looks like the deer have been nipping at it. So that'll be another job. Here's another part of the tree that is trying to grow. So I'm going to go ahead here and trim a little bit of this vegetation back as well that's competing with it, and I think either later on or next spring I'll put a bigger cage around it, try and give it a better chance at survival. I don't know that I'll do a lot more with it this year if I get some time here. We got there's a ladybug on one of the leaves, but yeah, I'll go ahead and trim some of the competing shade from around it, get some more sunlight into it, and maybe that'll help it out a little bit. I'm going to use my saw and cut some of these spice bushes back out of the way. I'll clean these spice bushes out of the way. Nothing I cut here is of any value, so that's one thing I always try to make sure I'm not cutting any trees down that'll be valuable for timber in the future. And there you have it. See if we can get this tree bearing some fruit in a couple years. Definitely gonna come in here and give it a new cage. We'll just see. Maybe, just maybe, I can have 2 of my trees from Tractor Supply bringing me a reward yet. We shall see.